It's hard when people that are involved in care kind of beat around the bush and don't actually tell you what's going on. I think it's important to be honest and factual, because being too sensitive and being too vague means that people are left not really knowing, and I think there is no point in having confusion in an emotional situation.
But in my profession, I would want to talk about it with the residents I look after and with their families, because it's a stress time for the families without needing to ask at that crucial moment. And talking about it is at the start of a life-limiting illness. It's not 3 days before somebody passing away. It's right at the start to get everything put in place so that you make it right for that one person.
I suppose there's certain things within the care that you're given when you're dying that people might not necessarily understand. So it's for staff and people to understand what all the different terminology is. So when someone says someone's terminally ill, do people actually understand what that means? If people are talking about palliative care, do people actually understand what that means? And that's for all levels really, so older people down through to younger children as well.
As a professional, if I was dealing with a patient, then the people I'd want to talk to obviously is the patient themselves. You have to take into consideration what patients actually wish. Some patients don't want to talk about difficult conversations, but also we need to make them understand and help them to deal with the situation that they find themselves in. I think sometimes patients themselves will ask, but if they don't, then it's something that we need to not wait for that opportunity. If this is the situation we're in, it's something we need to broach as professionals.
I remember very gratefully a consultant sitting down with us and starting those conversations about poor prognosis. It made it so much easier to have that third person involved in those conversations at that point, because for us as a family, our emotions were so heightened, it was incredibly difficult to start talking about death when we all knew that death was only a matter of days away. I think doctors and nurses are instrumental in starting those conversations. All too often, we leave it too late, and it is incredibly hard to talk to people that you love and you know you are going to lose at that time in their life. But having that person there that starts that conversation takes some of the emotion out of it and helps progress those conversations forward, particularly at a time when they need to be, some of the issues need to be brought out quickly, such as, does a person want to die in hospital, or would they like to get home to be back home with their loved ones? So we have, as professionals, a really important role to play in that.